how much my check is as a kindergarten teacher, and how I spend it. This month my direct deposit was $7,500. I spent $581 on my Bronco car payment. In the summertime I do pay the mortgage to give my husband a break, so the mortgage was $4,231 plus utilities for all of our properties. Father's Day and all the dates I took care of for the month of June, so that was $672. Flowers for my front yard were $590, and then Madison and I both got our hair braided, and that was $425. I spent $795 in groceries and eating out, and then I went to Home Goods 3 times and spent $411. That leaves me negative $205, but I did make $208 in TikTok shop, leaving me with $3 left over. Okay, unfortunately I do not have enough for gas this month and anything else that we need. So I do want to make sure that my husband is able to relax and not spend any of his money. So I will afterpay any gas, and I will Klarna anything else we need. But all of our bills are paid.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. Millions of Americans are breaking down their paychecks, and the numbers are insane. As you've heard the First Lady, how she's breaking her check is just unbelievable. Even after paying all the bills, she still has a negative balance. And this is a story of many Americans, not just her. Let's hear the rest of the videos.
Hi, you already know where we're at. We are in the car. Today is Tuesday. It is payday. We're going to break down the budget as a single income family of 4 who is struggling and behind on bills. First stop, the bank. So let's go pull the money out, and then we're going to get into where it's going. Okay, we are done at the bank. I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot because we are going to go in and grocery shop, so stay tuned for that video later. We're going to break down the budget, and I'm being totally honest and transparent here. So $440 has to come out this week to put towards the mortgage. We have a loan payment of $185. I'm pulling $40 for groceries, which I already have it. I'm hoping I do not touch anywhere near $40 because our last EBT payment deposits on Friday. So I'm just picking up what I desperately will need until Friday. I have to pay the last $122 of our phone bill. I'm putting a $50 payment towards our sewer bill. I have $45 worth of firm payments coming out and $40 for gas for my husband and I to hopefully last until next payday. Then I also have to pay for my daughter's soccer pictures, which is roughly $27, which brings us to a whopping $0 left over till next paycheck. Why do I tell you this? Because I know that there's a lot of people out here struggling. And I'm thinking if I post about it, talk about it, you guys aren't going to feel so bad, and we can do this together. We're going to get out of it together. So, yeah, it's holding me accountable. We're going to do this, and you guys are going to be with me every step of the way. And every Tuesday we're going to post about our budget, and we're going to see where we're at. So let's head in here to Walmart and see how much we spend on groceries.
Let's see how broke I am by doing a quick little budget. I haven't gotten paid or anything, but I just want to subtract what I've spent on my credit cards versus what's in my checking account, see how much money we have to work with. I have a feeling it's not going to be great. So a job would be very nice right now. So in my checking account right now, I have $750. So let's subtract what I've spent on my cards. I have spent $63 on my MasterCard, $25 on my Discover card, $29 on my Amex card, and I still have my $99 fee on my Amex Delta Sky Miles card that I need to pay. And then my big one is my Chase card. It's $568. Majority of all my credit card charges right now are just straight bills. Any bill that I can put on a credit card, I put it on a credit card because then it gains me points. So if we subtract that from what's in my checking account as of right now, that's negative $34, which is that's not great. That's not great. I do need to get my payment for a TikTok shop, which I believe that's like $120. So once I transfer that over into my account, then I will not be technically in the negative, and I'll have a little bit of money to work with. And then I know for sure I'll be getting paid on October 15th, the next time TikTok pays out. And I know it's at least going to be more than what I got last time because I had some videos do a little bit better this month than last month. So I know I have that coming. I'm still waiting to hear back on my interview that I had. Yeah, I'm still applying to jobs, still looking for a job. So hopefully something comes up soon.
I'm a nurse, and yesterday was payday, and it's not looking very good for the next week. I get paid weekly, and I have about $4 to save me to the next week. So let's go over what I spent this week. All right, just to jump right into this, we're not going to waste any time, okay? My paycheck this week was $1,550. Here's the kicker. My husband got paid $0. Just because he gets paid bi-weekly, not weekly. So he got paid last week, so this week it was just my paycheck, not his. You guys hate when I say this, you really, really do. Every single comment on this video will be related to this. Like, I paid my tithing, $155. Not that bad. Sometimes I pay $1,000 in tithing, sometimes I pay $100 in tithing. This week I paid $155 in tithing. All right, now to get into the expenses of things. This week I feel like wasn't too bad with expenses. We went to see the new Minions movie this week. It was terrible. It was literal garbage. It was horrible. But I spent $24 for our family of 4 to go to the movies. We went on Tuesday where it's like $6, I think, and then it's a $6 movie plus free popcorn. And where I live, it's like a million freaking degrees, and so I'm trying to find indoor things to do with my kids, but yet take them out of the house. So I found like an open gym, like tumbling type of thing, and that was $3 for both of them for like an hour. And then after the open gym, I just felt like shopping, $43. Yeah, my husband kind of got on me for that one, but I spent $43 at Target. It was all unnecessary, but I just felt like going to Target. Next, I spent $17 at Aldi. I don't remember what I bought. I think we were having dinner that night and I needed a few random things. So I spent $17 at Aldi. And then this week we went out to lunch twice, which is kind of unusual for us, but we spent $54 in total just going to lunch this week. On Amazon this week, I spent $29, which I feel like it's pretty good. Walmart this week, we spent $106. Now, we're not paying our rent or any really like big bills this week, but I will still put some into savings because I'm going to prepare for when rent for August comes out, $800 into my savings. All right, last but not least, our car payment came out this week, and that was $300. So after all of that, we are left over with a big whopping $19 to get us until next week.
Let's take a look at a UPS driver's pay stub. Now, before we begin, you will see here that I am talking to you on a 30-minute unpaid lunch. There's a couple things I want to know. One, union members with UPS are paid weekly, so these numbers are going to reflect a weekly paycheck. The second thing I want to talk about with this pay stub is I don't want to mention it in any ill-mannered way. I simply love when I come across content creators who share their pay stubs of their different working field and their transparency of how their wages are broken down. Jumping right into it, I did cross out some information, but you can see my name right there across the top. You can see that this is for 1 week, and we have a total earnings of $2,004.98, taxes of $487.49, total deductions of $204.25, with a net take home for the week of $1,313.24. Now, of course, I'm not just going to show you the big numbers, I'm going to show you the breakdown. So let's take a look at the hourly breakdown of how those numbers come to be. Here's an individual breakdown of those hours. There at the top, you can see our current pay rate of $44.26 per hour. And as you go down the list, you can see our regular overtime as well as production bonus. As you get down to the bottom, you see total hours worked of 42.76 hours. If you go a little bit further, you can see the year-to-date totals of 1,735 hours for a total of $76,243 for the year. There you go. Hope you enjoyed it.
I love watching paycheck breakdowns. So, I got paid on Friday. Let me tell you guys how much money I made. And please, not too much. I get paid every 2 weeks. I know it's not a lot, okay? Yeah, on this upcoming period, I only worked, it's like about like 38 hours a week. I got paid $1,144.85. Y'all, that's every 2 weeks, y'all. Fuck. First, I got to pay my car note. Is $973.84. That's leaving me with $171 with 1 cent. Fuck. Now, y'all, I have a Jeep, and Jeeps be giving people problems and stuff, right? So my car warranty a month is $154.04. So I have to pay that. So that leaves me with $16.97. Y'all, damn. Fuck. I can't even buy me a plate of ribs, macaroni. Okay, y'all, I told you guys I've been doing DoorDash to make it ends meet, right? So on my DoorDash card, I went hard this week. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I made $599.62, right? So, boom, I gotta pay for my wisdom tooth, right? I got my wisdom tooth removed, right? And it was $5,000. It was 4 wisdom tooth, $5,000, right? The insurance only covered $3,000, so I had to pay $2,000 out of pocket. So I paid $62 a month. It's been like a year. I'm almost done, like a little bit, just a little bit. So that leaves me with $537.62. Y'all, now it's gas, and I have to put money away for gas every 2 weeks. So basically, it's $130. Every week is $65 in gas. That's a lot, but goddamn, I should have got me a Toyota. Ugh. And next is my credit card, y'all. My balance is literally $900. Like, I maxed that shit out. So I just pay the minimum of $40 so I can't like afford to pay the rest. So that leaves me with $407.62. That's kind of crazy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And I gotta pay my Afterpay. And y'all, Afterpay, I made a mistake. I started buying shit on Afterpay. But this pay period is, I only have to pay $13.37 on Afterpay. It was on Fashion Nova, and I only bought like one thing. But then, y'all, Affirm, y'all. I literally pay $52 a month plus, y'all. Y'all, after I pay my credit card, whatever, right? That leaves the balance to $367.62, right? Boom. Okay, cool. Now I gotta pay Afterpay. I bought something on Fashion Nova. I only bought one thing, and that leaves me with $354.25. Then I have Affirm, which is I pay $56.03. So that leaves me with $298.22. Now, y'all, I fucked up, y'all. I have a debt with Affirm. I owe like probably $1,300, something like that. My first payment was on Amazon. It's $131.75. That leaves me with $166.47. Now I got an other payment for Affirm is $131.54. That leaves me for 2 weeks with $34.73 for 2 weeks, y'all. Let me get the fuck off here and go on DoorDash, okay? I need to make money.
Hi, pretties. Let's budget my $1,600 YouTube paycheck to help me survive for the entire month as a full-time content creator. Let's budget my YouTube paycheck. I got paid $16.24 with 67 cents. I'm going to put 30% in savings for taxes. That'll be roughly $4.88. And then for my bills, these are all the bills I need to pay. My car note, my phone bill, my internet bill, daycare, and groceries. Let's go ahead and add these up. So let's start with these two. 5 plus 9, I believe, is 14. 4, carry the 1. 10, 11, carry the 1. 3, 4, 5. 514 plus 24 will be 538 plus 221 will be 759 plus 300 will be 1059, period. Let's subtract 1624 minus 488. We can take that as to 1. 14, 8 out of 14 is 16. Carry, oh, I don't want to carry nothing. 16, I meant 6. 8 out of, can't do that, so we'll make that 15, then we'll make that 11. 8 out of 11 is 3, and then 4 out of 15 is 11. So we're left with 1136. Now we're going to subtract 1059. So that's going to become a 2. That'll be a 16. 9 out of 16 is 7. 5 out of 2, you can't do that, so we'll take that, make that a 10. So then 5 out of 15, 5 out of 12. And then 0. So I'm left with $77. So we're going to distribute it in my 3 different bank accounts. So my bank account 1, this is for bills and emergency savings. So for bills, I know that I need to put 1059 in there. So we're going to go ahead and put 1059. And then for savings, it's my emergency. So we're just going to wait a moment. And then for bank account number 2, this is going to be everything extra that I want to spend. So we're going to wait. Bank account 3, this is going to be my taxes. So we're going to be putting 488 in my taxes one. And then in my extra, it's going to be travel and then debt. So we're going to go ahead and break up the $77 in all of these. So let's go ahead and see where I want to put it. I definitely want to put something in emergency. So I'm just going to put $20, which is going to leave me with $57. And then for travel, we'll put another $20. And then for debt, we'll put another $20. Yeah, so then we have minus 40 will be 17. So I'll leave the 17 in my personal in case I want a coffee or something. And that is how I break down my paycheck to survive me for the entire month.
Just picked up my last paycheck from my part-time job at the seafood restaurant, so let's open it. As you guys know, I now work full-time at a hotel, so this is my last paycheck. Here I got 17 an hour. I worked 70 hours and 43 cents. From my hourly total, I got 1,197.31. In cash tips, I ended up getting 313. Making my total gross pay $1,510.31. In taxes, I got taken out $441.30, which means I ended up taking home $1,069.01. This is pretty good because my last 2 weeks I worked 7 days 1 week and 6 days 1 week. So we got a pretty good paycheck, I would say, but now I work full time, so we're gonna be getting even bigger paychecks.